filled episode of Chillin with the Pool. I'm your host with the most, Pirate Master Deadpool Supreme, alongside my enigmatic, soon to be more than enigmatic co-host, Adam Warlock. Greetings, honored guests, and welcome to another thrilling episode of Chillin with the Pool. Yeah, we already just said that, Adam. Well, I was brushing on during the week during the weekend between the shows. I wanted to brush up on my showmanship. Apparently, I think that's how co-hosts do. Okay, so at least it shows that you're definitely improving. All right. Anyway, today we'll be continuing with part 2 of the coverage on the new penultimate Spider-Man comic. When last we left off, Peter, Harry, Ben, and Jonah were both teams were respectively trying to find links to the kingpin of crime. Excuse me. In an added twist, the kingpin is packing his own force of backup. It's his version of the penultimate Sinister Six, using the heads of all the different crime families. So it means that they're all capos, and Kingpin is the Don. Or the Don to end all Dons. Or as Cheech Falcone said from Forget About It would say, Don. Anyway, for those of you who don't know what the show Forget About It is, it's basically just like Family Guy, but way better, but with the mob and stuff. Anyway, let's get into the story at hand, shall we? Iron Spider. Okay, I think this is where we left off. Anyway, when we last left off, Jonah and Ben were investigating leads on the Kingpin and, of course, his ring and his international crime syndicate. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Peter and Harry were just thinking up a plan. We're on patrol and thinking of holiday plans for Christmas. It's spandex. Well, to be fair, Otto, he was very clear about being a spandex Kevlar composite. What if it shrinks when I wash it? Oh god, I'm just gonna never let me hear the end of it. Speaking of your better half, would you guys like to go on a vacation with Gwen and me in December? We always go up to our place in the Hamptons for the holidays. We didn't go last year because of, well, but it'd be nice to have friends there. Could it be fun? Harry? Yeah. That's Christmas. We have kids, extended family. We basically do a whole thing. Why don't you guys hang out with us instead? MJ really puts her back into all this. I'll check with Gwen, but it's gonna be a no. Once she makes a plan, it's not really her plan anymore. It's kind of our plan. Hey, ow! What? It's like my spider sense is tingling. You ever get that feeling? I got my powers and something feels like something bad's gonna happen. That's because something bad always happens. Watch out! Can't move. Suit's locked up. It's fascinating, really. We have amazing engineers building such fabulous weapons for our great game. All the other players gave that device almost no chance of working against either of you. But now, one way I do have to say is, I do love long odds. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the penultimate version of Walter Hardesky, aka The Cat, the masterclass thief and thrillionaire. World-class thrillionaire. He better be okay. I'd worry about yourself. You're both in the same boat after all. Dad, can you hear me? It's not polite to start a fight without introducing yourself. Here, I'll go first. I am Spider-Man. And you are? Oh, I am the shadow in the night. A whisper of a dream, my friends. What few I allow myself to have, embarrassingly call me the Velvet Blade. I think this would definitely be something else in mind, but the others could call me... They call me the Black Cat. I felt that. Maybe don't do that again. I think you'll find, little spider, that I will do whatever I want, whenever I want, to whomever I want. Actually, not to be a whole stickler, but I think it's whoever, not whomever, or wait, maybe that's backwards. Either way. Anyway, why'd you attack my friend? Actually, at the time I wasn't aiming for him. I was aiming for you. I suppose the moral of the story is, men like me, we cannot miss. Well, you just did. Oh, maybe when Churro says hi. Well then, hello there to you as well. Well, you just did. Oh, tables turned. That's what you get for being cocky, Spider-Man. The Kingpin of New York has called together all its captains to play the great game. You and the Goblin, you're both the prey and the prize. What did we do? You did. You know what you did. You caught our attention. Then you dare lay siege to Olympus. You angered the gods, and for those sins, your lives are forfeit. What do you get? That is none of your business. Well, I guess that gives me something to live for then, doesn't it? Like this. And so, of course, he slams him right into the side. What the? Not bad, Otto. Artificial. I suppose living is for the young, and I am but an old man. This day has been coming for some time. What? Go ahead, get it over with. You are going to kill me, after all, aren't you? Of course not. Don't be ridiculous. Hey, you all right in there? Well, I say this must be my lucky day. But they all are, aren't they? Boot complete. Armor's back online. Don't think, son. Just act. Watch out. Zap. Splat. And of course, now you have now Boris Blackcat and Walter Hardesky is now nothing more than a bloodstain all over the side of the pavement. Bro really pulled a Jason Todd move right there. I ain't gonna lie about that. Do you think he'll live? Well, he's not dead yet. What the hell is that, Harry? What do you mean? My suit had just come back online. You turned your back, and then he pulled out a weapon. I did what I had to. But I didn't feel anything. He would have killed you, Peter, and not thought twice about it. I heard what he said to you, about him and Fisk and God knows whoever else is making a game out of us. I'm afraid we're running out of time here. You need to wake up and realize that these people are and what they are willing to do. My parents are gone because of them. So is your aunt. And if you think they won't do the same to you or to me or our families, then you're crazy. But Harry, I don't know what you want, Pete. I didn't make the rules. We're playing by. We can't be like them. We're supposed to be heroes. We're supposed to be better than that. We have to be. You need to know something, Peter. If I'm put to the choice and one of them is about to kill you, I will never hesitate. So yeah, this definitely gives Peter I'm really thinking not to trust this guy. Well, just so you know, you're still invited to Christmas. Sorry, I got plans. Still, I'll get the kid something cool. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe something spandex. Harry, you might just be the worst best friend I could have. So yeah, this is pretty much Peter and Harry's dynamic in a nutshell. Then we continue on to the next issue. Yeah, this of course is the Goblin kidnapping Jameson, almost akin to Spider-Man, so the original Green Goblin kidnapping 616A Peter. October rolls in. Ben and Jameson are still working on that case, together. Yeah. Do I look like a good news first thing in the morning kind of guy? Sun goes down, sun comes up. People change every day, Jameson. No, they don't, Ben. Let's have it. Well, you have a very respectable drive out to Long Island ahead of us. And why is that bad news? I see a trip to a golf course in your immediate future. You know that devil invented that game, right? Yeah, the devil invented golf. Yeah, no, it was the Scottish who invented the game of golf, not the devil. He was just a bystander. We invented a whole bunch of other stuff. The devil's he's just the jailer. The guy on the sidelines. I know for a fact that a certain lawyer is going to be there. Tee off at 10 a.m. Lunch in the clubhouse at noon. Very well then. Well done. How'd you manage to wrangle out of the Fisk Empire? Well, after trying to see him for weeks without any luck, I got tired of playing by his rules. I know this trick. The old secretary two-step. The term you're looking for is personal assistant, Jonah. You know when you're condescending, it makes it harder for me to enjoy the good news. Yeah, that's Jameson for you. He never knew what good news was, even if it kicked his ass all the way 6 ways from Saturday. I guess I'll have to make it up to you. Yeah. How do you feel about a round of golf? Later, they reach the Long Island Golf Clubhouse. Excuse me, sir. Mind if we sit? I normally eat alone. Well, we're not here to actually eat. I mean, we could eat, but that doesn't mean we have long, and assume that this service here is a little slow. Actually, the service along with the food is excellent. I do suppose security could be better. Who are you, gentlemen? Mr. Wesley, my name is Ben Parker, and this is J. Jonah Jameson. We're with the Bugle. One of our reporters is currently working on a story, and I've seen the paper. It's charming. Congratulations. People seem to like it. Charming, huh? Well, sure. What else would you call a G-rated appeal to upper middle class recreational revolutionaries? Look, there goes one of our masked heroes soaring through the sky. Maybe they'll save us all. Maybe secretly they're just like us. Like I said, charming. This guy definitely gives out a mad sense of sinister aura, or condescending aura, if you want to admit to that. How would you write it? I think I'd write about where things like that lead, and why it's always a bad idea to break things you don't understand. Well, I am always on the lookout for illumination, and that's why we are here. The Stark Stain Industries Corporate Dissolution Sale, December 14th, 2023, takes place in real-world time. And, of course, apparently, if you can't see this properly, then I'll adjust the camera lens, all to the sum of $249,999.99. Almost $250, so they're just about $1 short. And, of course, that's your signature, James Wesley, correct? Where'd you get this? I was asleep one night and dreamt about how I could possibly escape this G-rated upper middle class hell I'm stuck in. Then, when I woke up, it was underneath my pillow. This paperwork is authorizing the sale of Stain Stark to an offshore company that's owned by another offshore company, and so on and so forth. Don't get me wrong, if I have to, I'll follow it to the source no matter how long it takes. But if we're hoping you could save us some trouble. I'm sorry, I can't imagine I can help you. Think your boss might be willing to? Yup, they've got him all right. Sorry, just stretch my legs. Anyway, what I know is that this paper appears to tell the story of someone removing themselves from anything to do with Stain Stark. And if that's really what you're looking for, then you need to look somewhere else. Is that right? It says, yes. I couldn't begin to tell you whether it's right or wrong. To do that, I would need to look at my files and confirm that the paperwork matches yours. And that's simply something I am not prepared to do today. Well, what about tomorrow? Oh, tomorrow is promised to no one, especially for those brave souls who choose to swim in deep water. Excuse me, gentlemen. It's time for you both to leave. You were right. Security was a little slow. Some other time, then. We'll see, won't we? Later, the following week, I think I got something. Oh yeah? What might that be? A fish to catch a fish. Indeed it would be. Walk me through how that chain letter thing works. Sure. As soon as the crew, let's see. So Stark Stain is holding a company called TSSC, which is then immediately purchased by an offshore corp called Dinos in the Bahamas. So secretaries, their assets appear to be split into two different companies. The SS Securities and the U65, and the second one remains dormant, zero activity on none. So it says, so we have to assume that which is SS is a moniker for Stain Stark, and what we're looking for, because it's been sold and resold every month between a series of shell companies. Now, it takes 30 days for the paperwork to go through, but each time without fail, those 30 days get sold again. Staying one step ahead of us, and anyone who's looking for it's basically a snipe hunt. Huh. What do you think we're wrong? It just seemed too perfect. Sure, it's obviously premeditated, but in a way that makes my teeth itch, you know? So I went back and looked at the other company, U65, and you'll never guess who owns it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time we took a visit to Oscorp. Your 2 o'clock is here, ma'am. Send them in, and go right ahead, then, gentlemen. And, of course, ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Gwen Stacy Osborne, the co-CEOs of Oscorp. Well, if it isn't my 2 favorite reporters on the planet, sorry you had to wait. Busy, but thanks for being so patient. Now this is something else. Ben has an office, I have an office, but now all of a sudden it feels like I don't, because this is an office. Well, it is nice, but if it makes you feel better, your offices and mine have one major thing in common. And what might that be? I paid for them. So what can I do for you? Well, the thing is, it's delicate, and we don't want to upset you, of course. I promise you're talking to the wrong lady in the wrong town, because I'm not delicate, and you will not upset me. That's Gwen Stacy, all right. Fair enough. Good to hear. So one of our reporters is working on a story, and we'd like to tell you about it. Then we'd like to ask you a few questions. I'm intrigued. Let's hear it. Last November, Stain Stark was sold off to a cheap, sold off on the cheap, and then, as far as we can tell, it was resold to several faceless companies before eventually being bought by a company inside the Oscorp umbrella. This obviously implies that you own it, and that's the story we're working on. What's the name of this reporter who's working on the story? Well, that's an interesting question, no doubt, and we can talk about that. But first, we have a few of our own. Like, who arranged the deal to buy the company? Why are you working so hard to hide the fact that you own Stark Stain? What happened to all that technology? Why do all these things coincide with people suddenly flying through the air in armored suits? And finally, we are wondering if you are the one secretly financing it all. Care to comment, Miss Stacy? Sure. I want my fucking money back. Yeah. Yep. I think we're just about out of time for this episode. But don't worry, this story is thick. So this story is a very thick book. So we'll have plenty more multi-part episodes of the penultimate Spider-Man ready for launch in the next few days. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes part 2 of our coverage on the penultimate Spider-Man. Don't forget to tune in next time, and we'll be covering part 3 along with the Parker family. So be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're able, and share this on your favorite social media platforms. Until next time, true believers, I'm Pirate Master Deadpool Supreme. And I, of course, am Adam Warlock, the keeper of this Infinity Gauntlet and the defender of Soul World and many variations. Yeah, no need to trauma brag, Warlock. But anyway, until next time, true believers, Excelsior.